Hey, good evening, good evening. It's Monday, August 12th. Having a beautiful Monday in Chicago. So, so how everybody doing?
We are doing
Yay!
fine.
Doing great.
Oh man. So starting from the top, we have Jazzy Moto,
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Sir Rich.
What up? What up?
What up, what up? And last but not least, the one.
Good evening. Good evening. What's up, everyone? Thank you for joining. And it's Monday, as the OG just said. So we're here to talk about gaming and what is going on in the world of gaming. So, that being said, let's start off and talk about what we've all been playing for the week, or the last 2 weeks, because we missed the last week. So, OG, you opened up. So let's talk about what you've been playing over the last 2 weeks.
The last 2 weeks, I've been knocking at the door. I'm about to beat Liza P. I'm on the last level,
Oh
the
wow, you
last few
really rolling with
bosses.
yeah, really rolling with that, huh?
Oh man, I knew from day one I was gonna like that game. You can ask Sir Rich about that. So I'm
I
about to
gotta
beat
ask him.
that.
You right here. You said it out. I give you your word.
We believe you.
hmm
We believe you.
That let's see. I was trying to play a little Everspace on my ally. That's okay. I thought it was gonna be a little bit better, but it's just okay for a space game. But
Just
they do
okay.
have another game.
I said just okay.
Yeah, it's okay. But they if you go on the Epic store, you can get a free shooter. It's called I think it's called Syngeny.
Okay, stop. Stop.
Yes.
Did you play it?
Yes.
So is it good?
Yes, it's good.
Okay, because everything ain't free doesn't mean it's good. So don't have me waste my time.
No, it's
So,
free on Epic Store, but it's $30 on Game Pass.
oh,
So you can grab that one. That's a good one.
okay. What else you been playing?
Of course, baseball.
What you should be in the season should be over with, shouldn't it?
182 games, man.
Okay. The new game will come out before you even be at 80 games in the season. So
I get it in.
wait a
I didn't
minute.
play 100 games.
You don't simulate half the season?
No, hardcore baseball over here, man. I
If
don't
you was
simulate no
hardcore,
game.
you would
I
finish the
play
season.
every game.
Okay. I
Huh?
ain't mad at you. I said if you were hardcore, you would finish the season.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish that season. I
No,
am.
you're not.
Watch, you'll see.
Okay, we'll see. Okay,
hmm
let me ask you this real quick. How far are you into the season?
100
Fin-
games.
Oh, you
82
played
left.
100. You got 82 games left.
Yep, got
Oh,
82
and the
games
season,
left.
your season's going to end when the actual new game come out because it's not going to end in the fall. Correct?
I'll get 2 games in here and there.
Clarification. Point of clarification. I'm just trying to verify.
I mean, the new game don't hit the March of next year.
That's what I'm saying is that when your season's over, when the new game comes out.
No,
Okay.
no,
Okay. What else you been
no.
playing?
I finished. What else I've been playing? What else? I think that's it that I didn't got into.
All right.
I want to come back to Cyberpunk. I keep saying that to myself. I just,
I need to get back to that because, but if I do it, I'm gonna have to start over, and that's why I'm like, ugh.
me too, because my character is weak.
No, this is all right.
hmm All my
Mhm.
cybernetics and everything. I be getting smashed in that. I think that's about it for me.
Okay. Uh, Jazz, what about you?
I have mostly been playing Elden Ring. helping out strangers
All
and
right.
friends with boss fights and leveling and
Oh, you
whatnot.
still happen your friends with boss fights?
Yep, we got Sir Rich and Mr. Della Vega. We got them to kill the boss that's required to enter the DLC. So they got that X stuff. um,
Nice.
what else? I'm in love with my new
I'm
setup.
just
I'm finding new weapons. Huh?
I'm just waiting for a sale. That's all.
Hey, yeah.
I'm waiting for a sale.
Might be a while, but yeah, I don't blame
I know.
you.
I know.
What else? I mean, honestly, that it's mostly been that. Like, seriously, on Elden Ring, like nobody's business.
Okay.
I think I fired up Call of Duty just for a hot second. Same with 7 Days to Die because that game was fun, and I thought about playing Dead Rising too because it's one of my favorite games. But yeah,
Hey, the
that's it for
remakes are
me.
coming.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the remake.
Mm. All right. What about you, Serge?
Uh, Elden Ring, of course.
Of course.
I turned on Destiny because it's the solstice right now, and they always had special armor and games and stuff. So I've been messing around in Destiny.
Destiny.
Turned on Hearthstone. I was messing around on that. I turned on Diablo 4 because a coworker was like, "Hey, Diablo 4 new season came out," so I was like, "Eh, let me see," because I forgot all about Diablo 4 for a
Yeah,
minute.
Diablo 4 season did come out.
Uh-huh. And yeah, I was on 7 days to die. I started a new level on that. I was going around there. I think that's it, really.
Okay. Let's see. What did I play? I played Open Roads, Call of Duty, The Descendants. Spent a lot of the first Descendants. I spent a lot of time on that, leveling up my character. Once I got all the things I needed, I'm back to that. Played a lot of it. It's a pretty game. Played a hot second of Crash Bandicoot because it came out last week. And I didn't really quite updated it, but I didn't play it. I got it and said, okay, I'm done. So I won't count that as playing. And that's all I really played. I mean, when I play, I'm more focused on the first Descendants and Call of Duty, but it's just like I said, last week they said that they banned a lot of people on Call of Duty for cheating. I'm like, well, they got a lot more people to ban.
Oh
But
yeah.
needless to say,
Got they work
It's
cut out for
Xbox
them.
people or PC people?
you say what, OG?
Is it Xbox people or PC people?
No, I think it's PC people
Most
because
definitely.
everyone's using it. Everyone, I don't understand because if you got to cheat to play a game to beat somebody in the game multiplayer, how does that give you joy? If you have to have some enhancement. I don't get that.
They just want to have the
I, but
satisfaction,
I,
like, oh, I'm better than
but
you,
just
but not
but
really.
it's not. But you're not better. I mean, but in your
Exactly.
own mind, you know you cheated. So I mean, how does that do
Yeah,
you
Just
yeah.
not
How
have
do
a
you
just
feel
concept?
about that?
just
Yeah,
getting over on people.
yeah.
That's
You
all
you're
it
not
is.
good. You're not good. You
Nope.
you suck.
Because you have to
But it
cheat.
is what it. Yeah, that's true. I guess, like I said, I never understand cheat, but in this day and the world we live in, I guess cheating is the way you get where you need to be. So it is what it is. All right. So let's hit one of our first topics, and it's going to be. It's not. It is indirectly related to gaming. So over the weekend, Borderland hit the movie theaters, and it bombed. And I don't think it made more than $5 million. And I had no intention. You're laughing, but I saw the free. I'm an avid moviegoer, but I had no intentions of seeing it. I usually try to go to the movies every weekend. Needless to say, um, I'm the type of person that when I saw the previews to it, I'm like, this is going to be an epic fail. One, I can't believe Kate Blanchett put her name aside unless she wanted to check. That's the only reason I could see
Hmm.
Kate Blanchett in that movie. But again, my point is, and I want to get your points. I know we didn't have to see it, but in my opinion, I'm tired of people just making video movies out of video games. All video games do not need to be movies. You
True.
Well,
screw up the
they made
IP.
a TV show, but they canceled it.
Resident Evil.
I got
Twisted
I
Metal.
got I got cursed out of right Twisted Metal. Uh The Last of Us, which was okay, which is good. Fallout, which is very good. Halo, which
Yeah,
they
Fallout
screwed
was
that
excellent.
up, and that was TV, but somebody tried to curse me out like, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about." And I told them, I may not know what I'm talking about, but I know I would have never showed his face, and I'm gonna take that to my grave.
Oh
Anybody
yeah.
you could, yeah, I'm gonna take Halo to my grave with showing the face. That is what just destroyed it for me. Because once
It destroyed it before it started. So first
you see
impression rules
I
I
can't
can
go
everything.
back. I
imagine.
did. I've yet right. I never watched season two. Just based everyone was saying, "Oh, it's good. It's good. It's good." You ruined it for me.
Yeah,
So I can't and all
because
this
you
it's
don't know
just
all the hours I spent with him wondering what he looked like, and then you just give me a
exactly. And then you
subpar
gonna give
version
me
of it.
right.
I'm like,
Yep.
no,
And
no
you
build
just
up,
take
no
away from my
nothing, no.
imagination.
And
Cause like
yeah,
I
what
and
what
that's
said,
the
what
whole.
what if I tell you all that
He was dreaming.
what if
please
I
do.
tell you
I
all?
didn't even see it yet, and I'm mad. He
What if
woke
I
up.
tell you all this takes place before
I don't
the game
care.
itself?
I don't care
That
because
doesn't
Doesn't
change
once
who
you
matter.
he is.
did,
It
Maybe
doesn't
it's a
but
matter.
reason why people don't see his face no more.
I
What if I
understand
No.
just
that.
tell
But
y'all that?
okay,
That's like Muppet Babies. I
but
never saw what Nanny looks like, and I am okay with it because I don't want it to ruin it for me.
Some stories
No.
aren't meant to be told.
There you
I
go.
mean, you okay. You can say, OG, and well, what if you told me that it was a reason? Good. Let it be a reason, but carry it out to the end of the season. Don't bring it out first.
Yeah,
Don't bring me something out
you
first
gotta
when you
earn that. You don't just take
Mm-hmm.
exactly
that over
make
and then
me
use it.
right.
You
It's
I can
using
called
the
see if
build up.
they
nostalgia. You don't.
right.
Mm-mm.
Right. I can see if they did Halo for 2 or 3 years, never showed his face, gave you little teases and shows you the back of his head. Then at the very end of the season, they took you back there. You screwed it up in the beginning. And that's my point. When you get these movies, they get the wrong people trying to make movies and they're going to screw them like another movie. What's that movie they're making? They're like, uh, it's a movie they're making, and the people weren't required to play the video game or know anything about it. They're talking about we're going to develop it off our own. And I'm like, instant
I
screw up.
think that was one of the Marvels.
Shit, sounds like Resident Evil too. Sorry, I keep
That's what
bringing
I
that
think it
up.
wasn't.
What was
It
that?
wasn't. It wasn't Resident. It's a new video game they're making, and I'm like, I am tired of them doing this. And so, what are your thoughts about all these video games becoming movies? If you don't have someone that is tied to it and understands,
It's
it's
just a
different. Like,
cash grab.
right, because you can't say like, well, Batman. No, Batman was a video game. Was not a video game first. Spider-Man was not a video. All those were comic books, then turned into TV, then went to video games and movies. But I'm just tired of people thinking they can just make a video game and say, "Oh, we'll just essentially make a movie."
Hmm. Because you're going on. It's the same thing with old shows and stuff. It's my whole issue with that. Using stuff off nostalgia. Hmm. Like
But go
you
ahead,
building
OG. What did you think of what?
off of something that's been
Yeah.
carefully curated, and just jumping in and just doing it your own vision. How you gonna do something? Take someone else's vision that they slowly created into this, and just I'm gonna put my own stamp on it. Forget everything that made this what it was. That's just
Hmm.
not how you do things.
Disrespectful.
Yeah,
You have
I
to you
mean,
have to. It's not even. It is disrespectful, but it's like it's not even original art anymore. It's like you
Go ahead.
wouldn't do that to one of these ancient arts that's like it that they study on. No, you don't mess with the ancient art. You make your own art next to that and say that was inspired from this. You
Mm-hmm.
don't mess with the history.
Mm-hmm.
But OG is saying, I agree. I see his point, but he's saying, well, this was before that. I just can't see you, and I understand that
Yeah.
from a perspective. I understand what you're saying. Well, this was all before that. I don't care before that because that was not how it was introduced to me. I was introduced to Halo
Yeah, and
1.
if it's before
Right.
all that, there are a ton of things that happen before all that. There's a ton of things before the game took place. There are a ton of things in there. Why would you start there? You everything could be a flashback. Like you said, it could be a flashback. You could show that later. You could go into it a different way.
This
I
is their
mean,
That's
aha.
it.
Like,
And I
oh, we
think
got the
it
show.
was too
Aha, I'm
much.
gonna show 'em.
I think it was too much of the actors wanting to show their face and wanting to be seen and all that. I'm
yeah,
like,
because that comes into
Mhm.
play. The actors do not like being
Aha.
masked because they become that character and they have you don't know who they are. That happened to Boba Fett.
well, it's also yeah,
So
it's all, and also they want to
They-
not
do that
Boba Fett,
because
Mandalorian. I'm sorry, I said Boba
well
Fett,
he
Mandalorian.
I
had
know
a,
what you
yeah,
meant.
but he finally showed his face once, but at least they let a little bit of it. But that was a new IP, so to speak. So they let that get on a little bit, but then they finally showed him. But anyway, um, I just don't. I just like I said, I saw that train wreck coming. I just thought it was the silliest thing that I've ever seen. I'm like, stop. So hopefully this gives Hollywood pause to say, hey, let's slow down. Anyone else have anything to say about that?
Nope. I 1000% agree.
OG, give
And
us
oh, go
OG.
ahead. Go ahead.
Think you're going to see Borderlands?
No. I have no interest whatsoever.
But Sony is a movie
Well,
studio.
Sony games are
Right,
movies.
right.
They
That's
movies
true
That's what
too.
they
already.
were.
They
Sony
make their
Pictures.
games to be playable movies. That's Sony's thing. So that's like a no-brainer. You should have been doing that, and then it wouldn't be such a big thing.
But again, OG, Sony don't own Spider-Man.
Nope,
Yeah, that's true.
they can't do nothing with that unless it's okayed upon. They had to get permission.
Yeah, Gears is going to be a Netflix uh
And,
thing.
and I don't have a problem with Gears being a Netflix. If
Cause they got a
Gears,
ton of stuff.
oh, right. But they,
Yeah,
well,
it's
here's my
ton of stuff
point.
that they can
Here's
do.
the thing they will destroy Gears with. If Gears is not gritty, it's
Oh
not going
yeah,
anywhere. There's
gory and gritty.
right.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
you
yeah.
can't make Gears gritty, dark, it ain't happening. There's nothing. If you make it all lighthearted,
Mm-mm.
no, I don't want to see it. I do not.
You can't skip on Gears. If you're
And
going to
let
give
me
us
tell you
Gears,
the
give
Like
me
you got to go
backdrop.
through the costumes,
The,
great and all that.
right, but let
Heavy
me tell you
metal.
the back. It doesn't have to be gory, but go back to, and you guys will see that where I'm coming from with this. Go back to the mechanicalism of the original Alien and how dark that kind of seemed in the beginning. You guys get where I'm coming from, and the aliens in that, and the darkness of it. Doesn't
Yeah,
have to
like how
be gory,
it was
but right,
creepy because the lighting was
exactly.
playing with the
And
shadows and all that stuff.
and if you can make Gears gritty and dark, it's going to succeed. But if you try to come with Gears trying to be lighthearted, it ain't happening.
uh-uh. That ain't going to work. That ain't going to work.
Like they cracking jokes and stuff. Nah,
And I can say I can usually, and I'm a movie
oh,
buff.
dark
I don't
jokes, not like
I don't I am a movie. When I say movie buff, I go to movies every week, more or less. I can already tell you, my friends will tell you. I can already tell you if I look at a movie for 5, 10 minutes, I'm gonna tell you who the bad guy is and how it's going to end. Because you just can look at how they make this. Not that I'm a guru of this, it's just that that's something that I like. And it's like you can just pick it, and if you screw it up, and I'm gonna keep my thing about that. Stop. But anyway, um, we will see. We will see.
yeah. But that's how you're supposed to watch movies. That's a lost art.
Right.
Like finding out how many days pass per scene change and playing, seeing how they play around with time in the movie and all that. That's the fun part of watching movies. After you
Okay.
get to surface level stuff. I mean,
Anybody else? Anybody else have anything to say about that? Jazz?
Yeah, back when we were talking about revealing his face and stuff, I was just gonna make one comparison versus how in Call of Duty, if you're playing as someone, you know who you are because there's a little cutscene, shows the person in action, and then it goes into first person mode. I feel
Mhm.
like that's what they were trying to do with the show. Um, Even though I didn't watch it, but that's it sounds like that's what they were trying to do. Nope, that's basically it. I made my
Okay.
point about Resident Evil and how it irritated
no,
my soul, and I'm gonna keep bringing it up because that's like one of the most prominent examples in my experience in my head. So, but yeah,
Okay.
I
Um,
never liked the Resident Evil shows.
you said you liked it. Or
I
you
never
didn't.
did.
Did you?
Hmm.
Did you play any of their first games
Yeah.
and see how it makes absolutely no sense,
Hmm.
like even visually?
and yet,
But
they keep making the movies. I hope they're done with them, but let's see.
mm-hmm.
well,
Yeah.
it makes sense for what they was trying to do, but it don't make
Make
sense
money.
for the
The
game.
only RE movies are
Well,
good are the CGI ones.
they wanted something that wasn't tied to the game, but how can you make a Resident Evil movie without tying stuff to the game? It's
When
kind of
you're only after money.
oxymoron.
Okay. All right. So last week,
The Monster
and I'm
Hunter
gonna get
sucked too. Let me get that in.
okay.
And since we're talking about video game
Right.
movies,
So last week, it was all out and about that people were screaming, "Oh, this is gonna happen. That's gonna happen." Warner Brothers said, "Oh, we're ready to license some of our IPs out." And it was speculation that, hey, Microsoft should go back and try to license IPs such as Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, blah, 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 blah. We need our own superhero. We need this. We need that. We need this. It's speculation that, and well, people can't speculate, but because it happened in the past that they were going after it. But Warner Brother wants to license the IP. And I'm like, I have issues with licensing IPs, except if it's under one scenario. So I want to get your guys' opinion about licensing the IP of Warner Brothers because I think people don't understand to some extent the
hmm,
problems that Warner Brothers Discovery is facing. Oh, gee, what did you think about it?
Um, I think that'll save them for a while, but not in the long run.
Go back. Save by what? Give me some details on what you mean. Save who? Warner Brothers by licensing
Warner
IP?
Brothers, yeah, by licensing, making a little money, I don't think that's gonna save them. Like if Microsoft go out there and license those IPs and make the games, I mean, what
You
would
will
be
not.
Warner Brothers cut?
You say what?
What would be Warner Brothers cut on that? I mean, is that's not gonna save them.
So, are they licensing the IP to what respect do you think they should license it? Meaning, give me just for the video game, for movie rights, for what?
Well, I'm thinking video
So,
games.
or
I'm
for
thinking
video.
video games.
Okay.
Hey, but I bet you Disney looking into some of that stuff.
I don't think so.
You don't think
Not
so?
really, not at all.
I bet you Disney would love to have Batman, Superman, and Wonder
I
Woman.
didn't say that. I never said that. I said you said they're looking in. I said I don't think so. What you love to have and what you're going to actually go after is two different things.
hmm hmm
So you're saying that it's nice to have, but it's only short term because
Yeah.
the video games will make XYZ.
And what does that mean to I mean, since they rebooting everything, what does that mean to their movie IPs? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because they trying to reboot these Superman movie and Wonder Woman and all this stuff and Batman and Robin.
Stirring a nostalgia pot.
Oh, and let me rephrase. They were willing to also license their IP and sell some of the studios
Mm.
behind it.
and sell some of the studios behind it.
Hmm. But
Who could be a major player in that? Apple, maybe? Since
I gotta
Apple is
say,
doing sharing games.
remind me to tell you about that because I was thinking about the Apple. Okay, go ahead. What about you, Serge? Just remind me when I start talking about my thoughts. Remind me to bring up Apple again. Serge, what are your thoughts on
As in
Warner
WB.
Brothers, WB licensing their uh, characters, their
Oh,
IPs out,
I
and
thought they already
also,
did that.
no,
Oh,
they
that's
own them.
really
They
funny.
don't. No, they really. I don't think Warner Brothers has ever licensed out any of their IP. I mean, to be
Okay, they
on
just
as
borrowed. They just
yeah,
like
you
what
can
was it,
have them on.
a game or something like that. Okay.
Well, their studios have always made like Batman and the Batman games. Now they may have, like you said,
Rocksteady is got
Superman. Right,
WWE.
right. Superman. I think they licensed out. Right. So you're right there, but that was many, many moons ago.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I thought they would,
Okay.
but
Yeah. Okay.
because I remember them struggling before and doing that. So, well, if they struggling at that, because I mean, what Warner Brothers anything has been selling lately? I mean, they just took a major hit with that gamble on Suicide Squad. So I don't know. Maybe they just need some bread. And they just
That's what killed them. Suicide Squad.
Shit, Multiverses is doing pretty good.
Okay. What about you, Jazz?
I don't know. I was kind of with Sir Rich on that because I thought like, isn't that what they were doing already? But I how I'm seeing it, if they're doing this, is it going to free them up so they can work on other things and still get a cut of their characters being used elsewhere? So I ain't got to worry about developing that. Y'all got it. Yeah, you can use him for such and such. So it makes sense
Okay.
to me.
Well, let me go a little granular. Well, let me explain some things to you, then I go granular. And I'll say this first: Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. Well, Wonder Woman, the video game is going to be made off of that. But Superman, Batman, Justice League, to me, those would be great games or great IPs to have. I would have no problem with somebody trying to make a video game off of that in a serious, like if it was a serious Batman game that had the theme of a dark Batman, like, and Batman has always been good, so I can't really say anything, but they get back to the roots of Batman. So let me go back to that. But here's the problem, and everyone's saying no one is looking at it. If you're laying off all the industry is laying off a lot of people, right? Just last week, and this overall tech industry, IBM, no, Intel laid off 10,000 people, or plans to lay off 10,000 people. The video game industry has already laid off a ton of people. So the studios that they are going to sell, what value do they add? They all offer talent, but if industry wide you're laying off all these people, to some extent talent is not going to be that it's going to be cheap because why would I spend money on the studio when I can get talented people from various other studios? You get my point?
hmm
So that's one issue. If they try to sell studios, to me they're going to have to sell it for cheap or add some IP to it, which they can't. Batman, Superman, I think in Warner Brothers and Discovery's thirst to sell, they will try to come in at the high end to um, lease or license their IP at the high end, and they think they're going to get Disney money. They're not going to get Disney money because Disney is not hurting. And as I stated somewhere else, I was like, well, if I was Microsoft, I would get that. I would go after Batman, rightfully so. But I would say if I license it, I want a 99-year license, not a 10-year, not a 5-year, 99-year license, or at least 25 to 30 years, because you don't know what's going to happen in the video game world. But I want that license. And for all microtransactions, if you get a cut, it's not going to be, it will not be more than 10%. For movie sales, I mean, for video game sales, no more than 10%. You're not going to eat into what I do. So I think that is the problem that would hurt Warner Bros. But the
Right,
biggest
like I
thing,
was saying.
right? So I'm not going to give you that money because Sony, if that's true, what Sony is paying for Spider-Man license, you have to sell a ton to make it. If a Spider-Man game costs $300 million, and then for selling the game, they get $20 for per uh, game sold, or 10 to 15. That's eating into your profits big time because you still got to make up the development costs. But the biggest point that no one is looking at is to why I think Microsoft is not going to move yet is because one, the person at the head of Warner Brothers, he used to be the head of Discovery. I don't think he knows what he's doing. That's just me personally. He's a moron. And Warner Brother Discovery, and you guys can look this up, is heavy in debt. Heavy in debt. It's something like $10 to $15 negative, $10 to $15 per share in debt.
Hmm.
So, I mean, when I say debt, at least 25, and I'm lowballing it, 25 billion to 30 billion in debt. So people can say, well, we'll buy Warner Bros. Because they're only worth 20 billion. Look at the stock value. I don't think they're worth 20 billion. But here's the funny thing. They may not be worth 20 billion. This is why nobody's going to buy them. Who's going to assume the debt that they owe? You get my point? See, if their company was worth 400 or 500 million dollars, billion, I mean, and they were in 10 billion to 20 billion worth of debt, that's different. But they're in debt and they're not even worth it. So that they may think, they being Warner Bros., well, we're gonna hold on to our assets. And since we're gonna hold on, we can charge a penny because it's Superman. I mean Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman. Those are some nice gets. If you can get, I would pay the penny if I was Microsoft, but it would be stipulated. But Warner Bros. Is probably trying to ask for Disney money. But there's so much in debt. So that's why I said in my thinking, Microsoft played a waiting game. Because if you look at the books, you thought if you thought Sony got ripped off, right, for buying Bungie, just think if Microsoft said, okay, we'll give you $5 billion. That doesn't even cover the 20 to $30 billion overall as a company they're in debt. You guys get where I'm coming from? So when you're in debt that heavy, what can you do? Because if they don't have I'm telling you right now, if, and I'm gonna predict it, if they, being Warner Bros., do not come out with a plan and and they don't make great returns over the next 2 quarters, they're done. I don't see what they can do, and they will start have to really selling assets because they're in debt so heavy, or they'll restructure their debt and file bankruptcy. Mark my words, because if they're not, HBO Max and all that is not going to save them. The streaming service is not going to save them. They were too much. It was too many mergers that destroyed them. But that's my opinion. I'm gonna stick to it. Well, I think the person at the head of this studio, head of our Warner Bros. Uh, Discovery, I don't think he knows what he's doing. And I just think in the end, he's going to come out there and say, well, if you want to license the IP, I don't know the fees, but he's going to ask for Disney money and I'll laugh him right out the door. But if I was Microsoft, I would come in and I'll give him a nice offer, but I'd say to be 99 or 25 year to 30 or 50 year lease of the IP, license of the IP. We get to do whatever we want to do it. If we develop a controller, you can have 10%. Any merchandising that we video game related, But then they may come in and say, well, that's based off of our character. Now, don't forget, and I will say this: Spider-Man, Superman, and Batman are iconic. Iconic. So there is a premium,
Yeah, super
but
premium with them.
mhm, there is a premium you have to pay.
Google
But
can jump in it too.
that's why you just remind me. Now, you brought up, I don't think Google wants to get into this anymore. Google being sued anyway, and they just lost a lawsuit, and Apple think they're going to get away with it too, but Apple getting sued too, and they're going to lose too. But since you brought up Apple, I had a free, and this is me. So, people in the chat like and subscribe, but chat, if you guys don't agree with me, you don't agree. But this is my opinion. I played that Apple Arcade, and it's, the lack of a better term, I'm gonna say this. It's okay. It's neat. That's the word I want to use. It's neat. And after my trial is over with, I'm canceling because there is.
Like, that was nice. Okay, bye.
That's like, I mean, I'm playing it on my iPad. I'm playing it on my phone. There is nothing as a gamer, a console gamer, PC gamer. I don't care what people say. Mobile games are okay, but I can't get. I can't. I just can't do it.
You can't make all games into a mobile game.
No. And the games that I
Mm.
like to play, I can't play them.
Yeah,
I probably like playing
you
them.
old school, man. You
Yeah.
old school. You ain't gonna mess with that.
I can't do it. It's neat. If it's neat, I mean, I play Bejeweled every morning just to get points, and that's a little quick game. I'm like, I can do this. But for me
Yeah,
to, because it's free. Now, if you said you got to pay $9.99 a month for it, ain't happening. Or $5.99, not happening. So that's what I want to say about that. If will Apple get into it, Apple would have to get serious. But you tell me, what is the end game for them? You saying, okay, it's all going to go matriculate to the Apple TV? That's their console. Maybe it's so.
yeah,
They
that's
have
what
a
I'm saying.
console.
Apple TV, they put on a lot of sci-fi shows, and I enjoy Apple TV.
No, I mean, let me rephrase. When I say Apple TV, the actual box will be powerful enough to run games like the phone. That's what I mean.
I'm talking about like a
Mm,
streaming device.
Well, not actually streaming, and remember the phones can play Resident Evil, right? And that next processor will be on an Apple TV over time. So when they hit Apple TV, then technically the Apple TV will be able to do what? Play Resident Evil. Then they got their console.
yeah,
But I won't
and
pay
be able to
for
stream some stuff.
it. But I think at that, how much does that Apple TV cost, OG?
For me, I pay $9.
So you rent the Apple? No, you're not listening. No, 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 no,
No,
no,
You're
he
talking
won't.
about the actual
no.
device, not just the
I'm
service.
talking about the actual device,
Yeah.
not
He
the
over there
No, no, I
stuck on
don't have a
streaming.
device.
he
No,
ain't
I don't
That's
have
what
a.
I'm talking about. No, I'm not
Bum,
talking about.
bum.
No, I don't
Yeah,
have a
okay.
device.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, they're going to later integrate it in the already
Yes,
existent device.
yeah, right. The Apple. When I mean the Apple TV, I'm not talking about the streaming service.
Yeah, I don't have that.
That's my point. And they're going to put Resident Evil on that, or video games on that. I can see that. But who's going to take the chance when I think they got hurt a lot when Resident Evil only sold 2,000 copies or whatever?
Yeah. That's what I was saying. No, that has to be a cinematic experience. I need lights
Yeah,
off. I need my big TV. No.
yeah, I agree with you. See, that's me. I can't play little games like that. I don't get. Yeah, I don't even get like even if I played Resident Evil on my Lenovo Legion Go, I'm not going to get that immersion that I'm gonna get on the TV.
Hey, man, they said people that have Android devices are much smarter than people with iPhones.
Yeah, he
Who are
know
Because
that's
they
they?
like to remove
propaganda.
our
No, no,
batteries
tell me
Exactly.
and make
who are they that
upgrades.
told you this?
Exactly.
Recent study, recent
Who?
study. Android
What's the
people are
name of the
much
study?
smarter.
What's the name of the study? Huh?
I don't know. I heard it on WGN.
Exactly. False information. He over here spitting false information.
It's
Mhm.
I said it was
it's
false information.
possible
I
to
said it
hear
was in
something. It's
WGN.
possible to hear something and not remember the exact source.
Yeah, I know. I'm just giving them a hard time.
Ain't this a fact? is an opinion.
Because I never remember them having a test to say, hey, people that have Androids take a test versus
My
people who
point.
have.
Yeah,
I mean, I can't. I don't know. That's a whole nother podcast, whole nother
that's
topic.
that's
It's
my
like,
point.
how easily
You
can
can
you
say whatever you
mod
want.
a Mac computer? That's it's the same to me. Like PC, Android,
Yeah,
Apple. Like,
because Apple is too closed and Android is too open. So there you go. All right. So we'll see how Warner Brothers come along. But mark my words, if they don't have some serious people, and I still don't think this is going to get them out the show, get them out of debt. This is not going to save them. They, if they last another 1 or 2 years without filing bankruptcy, I will be amazed. That's all I'll say. So let's move on. Let's talk about what do y'all think about the Starfield leaks? Shadow space in the vehicles. So is it going to make you revisit the game or get finished the game? Now, I'm gonna go to OG last because I know his answer already. So in shadow space, I know his answer. So, Jazz, what about you? You think you'll give it a revisit?
yeah, I mean, I always planned on it. I just never knew when. This might make it sooner than
The vehicle looked nice. It
expected.
looked real. Yeah,
It is
looked
beautiful.
like it takes cues from the Warthog,
Yeah.
don't you think?
Mm-hmm. Got a video playing now. Like the shocks and the bounce and everything.
The
But
bounce and all that.
can I just say real quick, like, I'm glad they're doing this. Because I always did intend on playing a game. That's just how it goes. But
You know
I
what?
just,
I agree. I got tired of walking.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I said that from day one. But a lot of people said, you don't need to worry about that. Just go ahead and walk and enjoy the game. You don't need
Uh,
vehicles. And I'm like, but
I
there's nothing to
get-
look at.
Walking simulator activated.
Exactly. And
no, it
now,
was
Oh, I
just
dropped my packages.
yeah,
Ah.
now people, everyone's excited for vehicles when
see.
earlier
Here's
we
the
ain't need
problem
them.
with the vehicle. On some planets where it may be too hot or too cold, how is that going to work? Are you going to have to fit that vehicle because you remember your type of suits you need on a hot planet as opposed to another type of suit you would need on a cold planet. You know
Different
how
insulation, better tires.
yeah, differentiate amongst that. So think about that. It's going to be interesting to see how they pull it off. So I hope they pull some thought in it, put
I
some
bet
thought
it's
in it.
over. It's over 1,000 planets. I bet you can't land on every planet with that vehicle.
Exactly. And I think, or it has to be equipped and you have to do XYZ to get it equipped, just like a ship. And I agree with them doing that to some extent.
Yeah,
But as my point is that I love the game when I'm in a big city, but when you're on one of those barren planets, and I think what would bring more action to it and make it a little more fun is when you're trying to steal a ship and you got your vehicle and you can get to that ship quicker because you drive into it and you can
yeah,
see that.
Yep.
that'll help.
So yeah, that helps because
Pull up, break
you,
yourself,
you,
fool. Pew
you
pew pew
you know
pew.
how
'Cause I knew a couple of times I was walking and they pulled off on me. I was like, God damn it!
that's what,
You
Uh,
running? Come back
and then all of a
Yeah,
sudden you got
they take off. I was like, oh
here.
no.
Come back.
then even if they see you, once they see you and you try to steal a ship and you're inside, there's nothing you can do to get inside that ship. They cannot see you in order to acquire the ship. That's the bad part. The once they see you in alarm, it's done. You may as well get off the ship. You're not getting it because they
Oh,
Yeah,
did
locked
just
the
forget
they?
door.
about
I
it.
don't know. Did they ever change it so like I need to reinstall this game? But did they change it so that like when you hijack a ship and you kill everybody, do their bodies disappear? Because I was highly disturbed seeing them carcasses
No,
on
them
my ship.
bodies still in the ship.
I don't like that. Get them dead bodies off of my ship.
I had about 10 bodies in the cargo bay.
Oh
Well,
no.
yeah.
At least put them in a chest or something.
So you should be able to give your robot a command, clean the ship, right?
Yeah, cause like right when I get on the ship, like on right when you climb up the
Man, when you
ladder,
go walking around,
body.
it's just bodies littered everywhere. Every body
Yes.
that you ever killed in there to take it over, they in there just chilling.
Don't
Not
start
rotting or nothing. They
disintegrating,
just sitting there like,
decomposing,
hey, buddy,
stinking up my whole ship.
remember how you required this ship? Like what? No. Can we put him in the bay and just hit the button?
For
Can we put him in there?
real.
Suck
How
him
about
all up.
burn
Yeah,
them?
be able to
Yeah,
put them out in space or
disintegrate 'em.
something.
Yeah, just put
Yes.
him in the loading dock and just hit the
Like, yeah, man, I
button.
just bought this ship. Ain't it nice? Then, where the bodies come from? Oh, don't worry about that. I bought it cash. Okay.
I'm like, who's Kevin? What are you talking about? Like, there's a mug here that says Kevin. Shush. Shush.
What about you, Serge?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe. I might play it in the future. Who knows? I got like 2 powers. I started getting powers and I was like, meh, turn it off. Still haven't said I don't like I don't know. That game ain't grab me like that.
It
I
grabbed
just
me. The only issue is that I had to walk. That was the thing. I'm telling you that got me because I'm like, I'm tired of walking.
Need a soundtrack.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm already here. Oh, gee, what are your thoughts and what are you gonna do?
I'm going back in, baby. You know I am. I'm stubborn.
I know that.
I'm
Didn't
going
you
back
beat
I
in.
knew you was going back
Yeah,
in.
I made it.
Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah, I'm
cool.
going back in as soon as Shadow Space come out. Yeah, I'm all into that.
All right.
yeah, because what I wanted to be good in it wasn't good. Like the ship flying, I was like, oh yeah, I'm excited for the dog fights.
Oh, I
Wow,
got into the dog fights after
they
a
are
bit.
boring.
Once I got my plane equipped, I mean my ship equipped the way I wanted it to.
It's like a rock paper scissors match. Either your lasers are bigger than theirs.
You say if your lasers are what?
I say either your lasers are bigger than theirs. It's just not. There's no real skill in it. It's just whoever got the bigger guns, bigger guns, and more
I got the big
defense.
gun.
I think they try to appeal to everybody.
Yeah,
Some
it's just like I said. They didn't. I don't think they put a lot of
effort.
into the vehicles because they knew they were going to revisit it in the future.
I don't have a problem with the flying because of all the things dealing with the flying. That is one thing that is flying in space, a flying dogfight and all that. It's not a good way to do it. I don't like it because I remember that what Star Wars flying game or space flying game that EA produced. I didn't like it one bit because the flying was boring and it
Flight was
wasn't.
intense in that game.
I didn't like it, and I'm not gonna. I was. I mean, I'm not a pilot unless real life. So
That game because it's like just like Air Ace Combat. That game is intense flying
yeah,
I
that
love
is.
it. Combat.
because it compares to that to me.
Yeah.
That is
It's
pretty fun.
just you in space.
Okay. Okay.
Hey,
So
that is combat good.
Yeah, and
uh,
that Rogue One. I
that's
think it
what
was
it
like
was, Rogue. I think it was
that
Rogue.
one. Yeah, that one is comparable to that because it reminded me of the old school Tie Fighter from the PC days where you had to get the stick to play it. I played the mess out of that back in the day.
Add-ons for the cool kids.
You know what's weird?
No, they just had you just had to get an arcade stick. You could
That's
use
what I'm
any
saying. The cool
arcade stick
kids
back in
had
the
the
day.
arcade sticks. Not everybody had that.
Oh, shit.
You
Oh
know what's
yeah.
Everybody I knew
weird?
did. Everybody I knew did. Anybody who went to baggages or software, etc. Boy. Go to that software, etc. They have all the sticks for fair prices.
Flight sticks.
Okay. So yeah.
No, the arcade stick. It was like a Atari style arcade stick, just like the flight stick
Mm,
with the buttons on the bottom on the base.
yeah, I remember those.
Mm-hmm.
I
I'm
They
had
was
one.
only
uh.
like $10.
Yeah. Yeah, you old, dude. You old.
So what did y'all? Yeah.
Nah,
Okay. I'm a merge. I'm a
y'all old
merge.
because y'all
Uh,
missed it.
let
Back in
me.
my
I didn't
day.
say
I
that.
mean, what you
No, I'm
feel?
not. I ain't say
I'm
that.
talking about
Let
OG over there with his crickly munch face. Only one
okay.
that can't go a podcast without a meal.
Okay.
You remember those, boy?
Shoot, I remember stuff before my time.
Hmm.
I know.
All right.
I
So
I
know.
don't mean I'm. Hey,
we're
shoot.
gonna move to the next subject, people. I'm gonna merge
He just
these
like
two.
feeling old. Don't bother. Don't pay him no mind. He like
Uh,
feeling his age.
the latest, the one merging of the Call of Duty trailers with the comment by Take Two CEO who says Call of Duty will boost Game Pass subscribers for a period of time. And the comment he made was like, I'm gonna read what he said because I think people uh, took what he said out of context and didn't know what he mean. And at issue, let me read a little bit what he said because the first part he said, this is Strauss Zelnick. I'm reading it off that page. He says, I think that offering a frontline title with a premium price in a subscription service day one, day and date will push consumers to that subscription service for at least a period of time, right? He said, however, this doesn't change his view that Take Two won't be putting any of its games on a subscription service day one, right? Then he goes back and says, no, it won't affect our decision because our decisions are rational. And I think a lot of people, ignorant people, ignorant means you don't know, did not truly understand what he meant by that. Okay. They're thinking he was trying to do this Game Pass. That's not what he really meant by that. So I want to get your guys' thought on that, as and opposed to all the leaks with the trailers of Call of Duty leaking. Do you think it's intentional? So I just want to get both points. What do you think? What he said, the rational point, and they did you think it was a dig? And if you thought it was a dig, why was it a dig on Game Pass and Call of Duty? OG, let's go with you.
Um, it came off like it was a dig
No, it didn't. No, it didn't. No, it didn't.
to me.
Okay, to you. But I'm gonna
To
tell you
me,
why you're wrong. But let's go. That's okay.
you can tell me why I'm wrong.
I know I am. Go ahead. Finish it.
I mean, because when you using keywords like rational and this and stuff like this, like it makes people think negative.
No, it doesn't. He said it's rational.
But
Go ahead.
but I also think that GTA is going to end up in Game Pass,
Okay.
which is rational
Okay.
because we got a game that's costing $1 billion, right?
Hmm.
GTA 6 is they saying it's going to be a billion. It cost $1 billion.
No, they actually said it costs 2 billion a day.
Oh, 2 billion.
Get that money back.
That's what came out there.
Hmm. Now I can imagine that game getting in Game Pass if somebody's going to cover that cost, which I think Microsoft can do. And the game end up in Game Pass. Why not?
Okay.
Yeah. And the second part, you said the only leaks I seen of Call of Duty was I don't know if those are
Cutscene.
leaks though. It was the zombies.
Zombie and the cutscenes. And so my point is about the cutscenes and the zombies. Do you think it was intentional? Now I heard also the reason why it was leaked is because of PlayStation 4 had people who have what do you call that? Modded their PlayStation 4s were able to get access to it. And from a security
What?
perspective, I'm saying is that who fault is that? That's Sony fault. Is because you let someone mod your system and they have access, then you are the one who allowing someone to have access or modify the system in order to get said data.
Yeah, because you could be like Nintendo, and so you find that
Hmm.
mod is up brick. Save
I
brick
had no idea.
penalties.
I had
Yeah,
no idea. Yeah. Hmm.
yeah. Most
So
companies brick systems
yeah.
when they find out you modded it.
And
So he said
they managed to get that past their security.
They probably don't search
the
for it.
the money, yeah, I don't know how they were able to do it though. That's the thing that kills me. Unless they turned it off, and then once it was off, they were able to look at it and download or whatever, manipulate system in order to get the videos.
Well, some people had a modded systems hooked up to their PCs and they can go into it further with
Oh
some
well,
good
yeah, that
programs.
too.
Hmm.
Okay. I didn't know that. Hmm.
If you got that dev kit, because you can do it with your Xbox too. You can go inside your Xbox and play around in it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Turn
the
it into an
Yeah,
Xbox,
emulator.
I know you can do it with
Microsoft
Nah,
Xbox.
gives it
Xbox
to you.
well,
I did it
Microsoft
yeah,
to my
that's
gives
the
it to
well,
you.
Wii.
development kit. Yeah, development kit they give it to you.
That's what I said. The
But
dev kit.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mm. All
yeah. But
right,
I know my
what's
kids. Uh,
what's your opinion, sir? Go ahead, OG.
okay, no, I'm done. I'm done.
Okay, Serge, what about you?
As in what? The GTA 6 leak? Like you
Yeah.
think it was
No, it's not.
purpose?
No, not GTA 6 leak. That was the Call of Duty leak. Was it on purpose? And GTA 6 Strauss Zelnick's opinion about Game Pass and GTA.
Oh, that is rational that
Hmm.
GTA 6 comes to Xbox Game Pass. Well,
Uh-huh.
it's rational, yeah. Of course it's rational. Because especially how they did GTA 5 with the online. You
No,
just
he
need
said it
people.
ain't coming. He said it ain't coming to Game Pass. He said because our decisions are rational.
Well, so I heard that part wrong. Okay.
Hmm.
So it's rational that they don't go on it.
Right. He's like because they're not acting irrational. That's where a lot of people
Well, I mean, they
are doing. He
probably
said
don't they
they're
don't want to
acting
give up no
rational. But
percentages
if
up
How is it irrational?
because they don't want to give up no percentages up. If you get on Game Pass, don't you get a don't Xbox get a percentage of what you make? Like if you
because
have
they're
like in-game
because
sales and stuff like
that
that.
they are paying them. They get a
Thing.
point of the they get the probably some of the microtransactions. They don't get any of the sales because they're putting it in Game Pass.
Yeah, I
It's
know,
not
Mm-hmm.
but
for sale. But it's
well,
not
what
for
about the
sale.
Games Pass linked sales? Because remember, if you're in Game Pass and you playing the Game Pass, you get 10%. So it's a way they may be able to track that.
If they sell it, right. If they sell it
And
after you play it.
they will help with the development cost of that game if you put it in
They
Game
don't need no
Pass.
development costs.
Mm-hmm.
That's Take Two
They
you
will
talking about. They
cover
don't need
some of the.
they
They'll
they
cover some of that.
they straight with money with that. They can pay whoever they need to. They don't need no help. Take Two is straight.
I mean, they only sucked GTA 5 for like 12 years, so
They did not. GTA 5 made them big bucks. Big bucks for the whole
I
time it
know.
was out. The whole time it was out, it made big bucks. The whole time. Still to this day. Big bucks. They make millions of sales in microtransactions. Millions and billions. It is highly profitable. That's why they say they
Oh,
don't
but
need it to go in Game Pass. They don't need it to any help on it because they have the funds to allocate towards. They made all their sales in microtransactions. It wasn't the game sale. Like the game
the
did
game
sell like
sales, the
gangbusters, but
game
the
deal sell.
microtransactions dwarfed that. What they sold in the game sales.
Microtransactions sustain it for a longer period of time, thus making them the money, more money than they thought. Or
Yeah, but it dwarfed. They were saying it made more than the game sales. Is what I'm saying.
I don't know about that. I have to research that because if you sell 30, 100 million at $50, that's $5 billion.
Now, to how many do those people spend on microtransactions and how many separate transactions?
Right.
So.
Well, I don't know
You
why I
only
guess
need
they
like 1,000 wells.
Mm.
Spending 50K.
You
it
got me
sustained
curious.
them. It sustained them a lot. But all right, Jazz, what about you?
At first I thought it was a dig. Cause it's like, whoa. I read it as like, well, we think rational, so we don't have to. But it's like you got to figure out what that it's he's talking about.
Okay, they
Call of
say.
Duty. Hmm?
Oh, go ahead.
No, not Call of Duty. GTA.
Go ahead, Jeff.
They're already gonna make money, so they don't need to go to Game Pass. So I think that's his way of saying they're gonna focus on other titles that they need to bolster a bit to make more. I don't know. That's what it seemed like to me after I tried to dissect what
Okay.
he was saying. But I can see how at first reading it, it can sound like a dig.
Well,
As
here's
of,
the thing.
as of August 9th, 2024, the game has sold over 200 million units.
hmm And multiply that, let's say, at $40 a share.
And
40
um,
something.
and they made 4.1 billion in microtransactions as of August of last year.
Damn, that's just
Right.
microtransactions.
Just
Let
microtransactions.
me
That's
start
over,
making
Just
some
my
but
cheese.
then they made over 4 billion in sales if it was that.
They killed it. They killed it.
But let me get back. Okay, Jazz, you got anything else to say?
That was
Okay.
it.
What I was saying is that what they were saying from a rational point of view. What he meant by that, and what I'm interpreting him to say is that, hey, we could put it, and remember he said short term investment, that he's not getting the residual value. Xbox is getting the residual value if they put their game, they own the IP, right? So if they put a game in Game Pass, they get all the residual value of Call of Duty. So if OG doesn't have to buy Call of Duty, but he's paying for Game Pass, that may be a missing sell. But like me, I bought the $30 uh, expansion for it instead of buying the game.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people did that, just like they did for Starfield.
You still getting a
Then,
sale or some shit.
right. So I said, that's what I said, residual. If Grand Theft Auto came to Game Pass, they would get a payout from Microsoft and they would get the microtransactions. So he has to be rational and say, wait a minute. The rational point is that they own the game, but they don't own Game Pass. They're putting it
Mm-hmm.
in a subscription service that they don't own. If they had a subscription
Yeah,
service,
that's what I said. They would get
they
like some
right,
kind of
they
percentage. Like they
right,
gonna
but they're
always
going
have a piece of
they're
it.
they're going to always have it because they're like you in our subscription service. You're going to get our microtransactions, so that's continuous revenue on both sides. The thing that I have a little bit of fault at what Strauss said, it may not it's you always going to have attrition in any service, right? People are always going to cancel service. So I don't know if he's
Mm-hmm.
100% right in saying, well, it's going to last, but it will give you that effect. A lot of those people will spend more money because it frees up money. And it will also give those people, let's say, for instance, Microsoft, I'm just throwing this out here. They get 5 million more people on Game Pass between now and December or January, or let's say 8 million. Let's keep it conservative, 5 million on Xbox alone. Let's just say that in Game Pass. And a million lead, that's still 4 million. That's paying what? $20, 15 to $20 a month. Think about how that adds additional revenue. And if they stay on for 2 or 3 months and then they start buying other games and playing other games. So what if that sticks? So for him to say it, right, there is no additional income for take two. So he has to be rational. But it is continuous income for Microsoft. So they can afford to make that move because they're going to make microtransactions from everywhere. They're going to make microtransactions off Sony. They're selling the game to Sony. Even though people are saying, oh, it's on PC. Yeah, it's on PC. If it's on PC, guess what? It's on Steam. But they're still going to make the transactions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even on Steam.
Even on Steam, they're
I
still going to
mean,
get there.
because like I said, the microtransactions, the people who don't just play it, and you know who I forgot about that? What really drove the sales of GTA 5 in
Hmm.
recent history? RP role playing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I still want to play that.
Role playing servers, because you still have to own the game.
So I do think when you talk about him, he's coming from the owner of the game that they already spent 2 billion in investment to develop the game, and he has to make at least. I know a lot of people like Grand Theft Auto, but Grand Theft Auto has its certain amount of people that like the game. I don't know if these new young kids are going to buy Grand Theft Auto because their minds are not there. Meaning they like to play short games, 5 minutes, and they're on their way. So they're into mobile and all that. Will these kids go into uh, Grand
That's
Theft
the
Auto like that?
Say yes, because it's the ones in
That's the
there now.
online portion.
Come on
The
now,
online
one.
portion is for all of that because the online
You-
portion is you just get on and do something
Mm-hmm.
real quick. You
Do your
just do
heist,
it.
get your
Uh
money.
huh.
Don't
That's it.
Or
don't
you
you know
could
what
go
makes
just
it
go in and
exciting?
just fight.
Mm-hmm. Oh, let me blow up these people's
Doing
cars
evil
just for
is
fun.
exciting. You understand? You understand? One, doing evil is exciting.
It's,
He
that's
said,
I think it's
understand.
two different. They will make their money on Call of Duty, even if you can get 2 to 3, 4 million new subscribers, and 2 million and 3 million stay, and you. But guess what? You're going to lose that regardless. Just like they take two may sell 100 million copies, but I guarantee you it's a set amount of 3 or 4 million that are just constantly on their plan that's spending all their money every month.
Mm-hmm.
Not that 100 million.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a select group
It's right.
because I have
It's
not spent
so,
a dime outside of buying the
and
game on GTA.
there you go.
But that's me.
I remember I don't I his name, but it was some rapper. He was running his own server or something
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
RP. That's role playing. That's what I was talking about. There's a lot of people
Okay,
running
he's
their own
making
service on
fifty
role playing.
thousand a month.
That's what I'm saying.
He's
Role playing. That's the role playing service. It's not Take Two. It's a different server, but you're paying a third party with that,
Yeah, so people
and they
like
Wait a
paying
on.
minute.
for them.
Yeah, it's
They
like
paying for
real
them to run
life,
the
Hey,
kind
server.
of.
Yeah,
well, are you
everybody.
saying
No
that?
NPCs. No NPCs. Everyone in the game
So like
is
you get
So
pulled
controlled
you're
over
as
by a
everybody's
saying,
cop.
alive.
You get
Everybody's
you
alive.
got pulled over by a cop. It's an actual person, and they are in
yeah.
that
so you're
role, one
saying
thousand
that's
percent.
a, so you're saying it's a living world where
Yeah,
actual
Yes.
people are
basically
playing. Okay.
Yes,
GTA
but
Second Life.
they use the GTA. It's a mod for the GTA game, basically, to give it role
Really?
playing capability. Yeah,
Yep.
And take
GTA
two,
5 RP.
did
Like,
they
look it
let
up.
that happen?
People play it all the time, and they
Well, I
really
mean,
get into the role playing. Like, they
I
are those
cannot
characters.
believe I cannot believe GTA let that happen without them getting some money because I can't see them licensing their technology and saying we don't get 80 to 90% because they were like
Well,
act
it falls under mod law. They make you buy the game. You still have to buy the game
You
from
still got to buy the
Take
game.
Two, but it's a modification on it.
I understand that, but Take Two
That's
is
wild.
greedy just like Activision Blizzard was before, and they don't let anybody mess with their IP. So I'm amazed. I mean,
But it
I'm
falls
not,
under the terms of service
hold
of the
on.
modern. That's the modern one.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is, look at what Bethesda just did. They just brought all their modding in house. So if you want to do anything with their game, especially Starfield, there is no outside Starfield. There's internal mods that they sell inside the Starfield or Bethesda store. They get a cut. I can't see Bethesda not getting a cut of that money. That's all I'm saying. I can't see
Well,
that.
it's the same thing that happened with Warcraft and League of Legends.
Do they get money from it?
Nope. League of Legends
Gary,
made a mod, and now it's the same thing with PUBG. And I can't remember the name of the game that PUBG comes from, but it's the same
I
thing
got to
with that.
research that. Not that it's not true. I
All
believe it.
these
No, I'm
games
talking
come from
about
other games.
mod.
They're
What
mods.
I
They're
understand that,
mods, and they
He's just
just
sir.
curious
extended.
of where they came from.
Right.
I can't remember the name of the game. I
No, no, no.
had it on my Steam.
I know how these companies are with their IP. and there is no way because I wouldn't let you get my IP.
Well, it
You
falls
gonna
under the terms of service some
fair
kind of
use,
way. I forget
fair
the
use?
way what the way they look at
I
They
can't.
have to own the game to play
because
it
it's like
anyway, so
you
they get
own the
money.
license of it. So by using the license, you're not manipulating
Right.
anything on the actual software of the game. You're just adding to it. So it's like a
Mm.
loophole type thing.
Okay. I just couldn't see them letting somebody get the game.
Yeah, it's like a
Meaning that no,
loophole. It's a
I know.
loophole they messing with.
Hey,
Well,
hey,
let
I ain't gonna never play that, boy. That sound like it's addiction.
I just can't see them.
GTA and Second Life.
Yeah, I ain't gonna never play it.
And that was my points on that. I don't know. I just
Yeah, I know
want
you.
to
You're just questioning like how they getting away with it
I,
without being sued to death and all
right,
that
because
kind of
I
stuff. I
know
understand where you coming from.
they want their money.
Definitely.
You be like, okay, you got you. We
After
want
you
our
spend all that money making
money.
it,
Mm-mm.
heck yeah.
Like, that's mine too. Give me that.
Right, because they will claim that as that intellectual for you're using our property to have a server, you
and
hosting the server, but we don't get any part of that hosting money. I
look up
just
League
can't.
of Legends. League of Legends is a case study for that because League of Legends, Blizzard tried to sue the mess out of League of Legends and they won because it was of how they used the property. I don't remember how exactly, but they won that case because Blizzard did go after League of Legends and they failed in that. They went to court and everything over it.
Mm,
So there is a case study for it. If that's what you try, it's like I'm
mm,
curious of
yeah.
how that went down in the courtroom and all that because I know it wasn't easy.
So have you or Jazz been in the RP world?
No, we've been
Mm-mm.
invited to a couple of people's servers, but I just didn't
Yeah,
want
I
to
need
get
to get
invested
around
like
to.
that because they like too serious. They crossed that threshold of gaming that I don't like. When I'm playing ESO, they like, oh, you're part of the clan, so you gotta get on every day at 5
How
p.m. and
come?
we gotta have a meeting and blah blah
How
blah
come
blah.
we didn't
No,
see
y'all
you
too
online
serious.
last night? Where were you? We were
Oh,
waiting
you ain't
for
gonna
you.
control
Yeah,
me.
You
You
didn't
ain't gonna
respond to
control
Oh
me.
man,
my party invites,
No.
all of that,
dude.
yeah,
all
I
that
of
was
that,
do this
all
us.
of
for
that.
fun. I do
We
this
need
for fun.
everyone in
Calm
the clan
down.
to have a job. So if you're working in RP server, you're gonna have to get a job. So you can be a cop, a
Yes,
fireman, or whatever, a banker, or whatever. We have all
y'all.
types of stuff for you.
Ooh.
I'm like, I'm good. I'm straight. I don't need to play.
That's why I stopped playing DayZ because I was in a group. Let me not say too much because I'm still in their Discord. They're fun to play with. However, I hated the fact that I was assigned a job every single time. I just want to explore. Oh no, you're the merchant today, and here's where we keep this. So I'm
You got
keeping
a job.
inventory. I'm a digital inventory in a video game. I understand. No, thank you.
I just came back from my job.
Right.
Yeah,
Like, can
people are
I have
dead
fun?
serious.
Shit. I just got off
Any,
work.
I ran into that in World of Warcraft. People was trying to get up, and people are serious about these games at a certain point.
That's
It
their
wouldn't be
job.
That's
me.
all they play.
Okay,
They are
well, that ain't gonna be
serious.
me.
Nope.
Okay.
And it ain't gonna be me. I agree. We just gonna be playing how we play. If they get serious, we gonna move on to the
Okay.
next.
So, what did y'all think of this next topic of Sony and Marathon and them laying people off? And what did y'all think about this whole Marathon fiasco where they're saying that one, Sony reorganized Bungie. Two, what do you think of that? And then two, I mean, what do you think of they're saying that Marathon is in development hell and will it be multiplayer? Since Sony's taking over, you think it'll still come to Xbox? So one, will it still come to Xbox? And what do you think is going to happen to Bungie? And will Marathon be successful?
I got a few questions about.
You go first.
Can Sony cancel this game now that they took over?
Hmm.
Yeah.
But will they? They have so much invested in it.
So, because that's a multiplayer game, right? It has to come to
Mm,
Xbox and stuff
mm,
like that, right?
no, right, right.
That game gonna end up getting canceled. Just my
Gotcha.
opinion.
Okay.
Just
What
my
about you?
opinion.
What about you, Serge?
Marathon, I would hope it does okay and comes out and all that, but the way Bungie is fumbling right now, I don't that's not a good look right now. It's not a good look.
I mean, they didn't already took some of the team from Bungie and started their own studio, right? In-house studio.
They
Hmm.
put them on other projects. Yeah.
Sure did. That's part of the thing I'm
Wow.
looking at. It does not look good. What I say, it doesn't look good at them completing this one. 'Cause I mean, this
Hmm.
is where it all started. I would love for them to remake the originator of Halo, but
I get
they
the
haven't
point.
had any good projects. Like what they cannot. They've relied too heavily on Destiny.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Jazz?
No, I'm kind of leaning towards OG. I don't want that to happen, but that I just have a feeling that's what's more than likely going to happen. Is they
There's the
it,
writing
it
on the
is it
wall.
gets canceled? Yeah.
Okay. Um, Let me put it this way: Bungie, as we know it, is done.
Oh yeah,
There's nothing
You
that's
know
I
that.
just
Oh
can't, and
yeah.
I'm sad about that. I'm sad
but
about that. You know, that's heavy, a heavy cross for
and
me to bear.
I don't think.
Mhm.
That
Yeah, I know.
hurts. That hurts.
There will not be another Bungie game as far as uh, Destiny. Never. Um, the Marathon game is in development. That's what they listed as their only game. My thought of what's going to happen with that is that they're going to have them as a support studio or making whatever they need and doing something else. I don't think after Marathon comes out, I don't think they're going to let them develop any new games. They're going to develop what Sony says. And a lot of people are here up here talking about Bungie screwed over Sony and da 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 da. Well, I have a different
Done.
perspective. I have a different perspective. Sony didn't screw over Bungie. Sony didn't do their homework.
Nope.
Don't blame Bungie for that. Because if I can sell you something at a better price, okay, let's say for instance, if I have a house and I know my house is appraised at 1 million, but I'm gonna tell you it's appraised at 2 million, and you don't look at the books and you don't do the estimate, you don't get the read the comps in the various area neighborhood and say, well, how is yours when all the comps in the neighborhood are at 1 million? And that's the highest. Nothing goes over there. Why would I pay double? Because it was desperation. Everyone's blaming. I'm not blaming. I'm not going into details about these personal finances or what these people who were at Bungie spent their money on. That is their business. Was it ethical? Was it right while laying off people? No. But everybody gonna spend their money on what they want to spend their money on. Just like when everybody else get a bonus. They weren't there at Bungie when the days were, and then maybe Bungie did have a spending problem. I understand that. But it still was Sony's issue to look at the books further to make sure that they were getting their money's worth. They didn't. And when they found out that, and I was saying this for so long. I said, this game is not going to do well. I said it last year. Bungie is not going to survive. And not only will they not survive, you got Bungie, like I said, Marathon. And it goes back to what's this game Sony is about to put out
You
next
said
month?
what?
What's this game Sony gonna put out next month?
Oh shoot.
Yeah.
The cartoon. Well, the game they're gonna put out.
And
Why
speaking of
would you?
cartoons, why Call of Duty look like cartoon to me? But yeah, why would you?
Wait, wait, why would you? Hold on, hold on. Let me get my point
Yeah,
out.
go ahead, finish your thought.
What I was saying is this game's gonna flop because of greed. That game is gonna flop because of greed. Why would you charge people $49 for the game when you got a subscription service and you should have said, I'm trying to make this live service game last forever. Dump it to everybody in the subscription service. They will pay for the skins or what have you. But no, they want to charge. That's called greed because they're trying to make. Whenever you're trying to make back money, and yeah, Sony did well. If people want to think that on their quarterly reviews, but they didn't do well in the console space. They may have sold consoles, but all that software money was made off PC side of the world. And so my point is, at this day and age, and how things look at Bungie, they're done. And Marathon, if they cancel it from going on to Xbox, which would be a mistake, it's a live service game. But it's also may do worse if Call of Duty does so well this year and keeps them PS5 people uh, glued to that game. Because when Marathon comes out, you still got to deal with Call of Duty, and they don't have a date for it. So it's not coming out next year. They said they're highly doubtful, and it's in development hell. So it goes to development hell. So OG's saying, from his perspective, since it's in development hell, guess what we're going to do? We just cancel and walk away and have them develop something else. I just think it's too far in development for them to do that.
Exactly.
So it's something to look at.
I think they're gone, and that's it's sad. It's really sad.
You think so?
Yeah.
I tell. But I think, like you said, I do think to some extent they may be done. I don't see them as
As
themselves.
sad as it is, that hurts my feelings. But it is what it is.
Yeah, it hurts my feelings too.
When you get comfortable and with easy money and don't perform, you writing your own ticket down the road, man.
You're right about that.
Now, now, according to the contract, those people were contracted for 3 years before they could leave Bungie, if
You
I'm
said
not
a
mistaken.
contract at 3 years before they could leave. So you talking about devs and all that?
Yeah, the devs and stuff like that.
Because you get the 3 year contract unless you can get yourself fired.
Right, exactly. I mean, they freaking handcuffed to them. That's crazy.
Well, you know what? I also want to tell you, in my mind, I think they, um, how everyone here works for corporate America. You know, you work for corporate America, and some people have gotten on a PIP. Y'all know what that is, right? Y'all know what a PIP is, right? Performance improvement plan before they get
Oh
rid of you.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So I think to some extent they put them on the company overall on an improvement plan to say sometimes you can be on a PIP where it's unreachable. So it was always, in my opinion, once they paid 3.6 billion, it was always in the plan to let the charade go on that Bungie was independent
Hmm, hmm.
and then give them unreachable goals so they would fall and then they would get the company anyway. And that mean they would lose their autonomy. Does that make sense to you guys? Because that's exactly the way I'm looking at it.
Yeah, I see it the same way.
Anybody else have any opinions on that?
So they end up making some little s- old scraggly little double A game probably.
I don't know what they're
Raggedy
going to
old
do,
game.
but I just know that whatever they're trying to do may not work the way they want it to do. Because don't plan, like I said, when you dig a grave for somebody, dig two. Dig the one you're digging for yourself, and for somebody else, and dig one for yourself.
Because you're burying your ideas with that
Because
right there.
it's funny to me. It ain't funny to some extent, but it's interesting how it just seems like it was doomed from the beginning because these unrealistic goals that they put on Bungie just didn't make sense to me. But what do I know?
They want they independent. Yeah, all right.
Mm, well, you see where that got them, right?
Yeah.
Didn't get them far. And the last one came up from the old one. Um, what did you guys think of this out here about um, Hi-Fi Rush being bought by uh, Krafton and Tango Gameworks being bought by Krafton, and thus Hi-Fi 2 may be in a remake. I mean, may Hi-Fi 2, Hi-Fi Rush 2 is being made. What are you guys' thoughts on that? OG.
Me personally, I think it's a good idea. Instead of them just going extinct, and they selling to another Asian company, and people that like the game will get a part two.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully,
And
it'll be hip hop. And I
hip
can.
hop in what respect?
Well, that soundtrack wasn't hip hop. It was like mostly rock.
Yeah, that was very rock.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And the guy was rock, but that's his thing. And I mean, I don't have a problem with it. It just wasn't me.
it'd be nice to
But
put some old school stuff in there.
we can't go off what we like all the time.
I know, I know, I
It does sound good though, right?
know. Got the fighting already in there. Yeah, but that's what
What
I
are your
think
thoughts,
about it.
Jazz?
Um, I think it's a good thing. I tried the first one, didn't really get to me. I mean, it's fun. Don't get me wrong, it's fun. But like you guys were mentioning with the music, and I think it's my own fault because one of the main reasons I bought a Dreamcast back in the day was Jet Gone Radio. And I think mentally I went in there expecting some of the same feel and the same vibe, the same music, and it wasn't there. So and I like rock music.
Yeah.
I really like rock music. It's just the vibe with what I was doing. It didn't really. I was like,
They didn't
yeah.
get you. They didn't get you drilling and
Mm-mm.
pumping.
Nope. Nope. And it's fun to look at. Like it looks cool, but I'll still play my old games. I'm good. But that's good
Okay.
for it. Hopefully the next one is better music. But
Serge, what about you?
Well, it's cool that they continuing and all that. I hope that they survive and be able to make other stuff because I like the original game. But How Rush didn't gel with me. It was that the timing of the fighting and stuff. I don't know if I gave it enough fair
mm-hmm.
shake in that, but mm,
Was your rhythm off?
wasn't even that. It was just
Mine was. I was being too
the fact
creative.
of the fighting with the rhythm that was feeling kind of off for me. Mm. Like I said, maybe I got to give it another chance.
Hmm. Okay, well, let me go a little bit different path and go back before I go forward. You know, a lot of people dogged off Microsoft for closing the studio, right? And I'm like, oh, you closed the studio. And let's be real. Hi-Fi Rush. Um, what was the game before Hi-Fi Rush?
Sunset Overdrive.
No, no. By that,
Was the game?
well, no, what was that game? And I liked it.
Ugh.
What was that game? You played it too, OG.
Not the same people.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Well, it was a beat game.
no, they made the what was that game? Uh, it was made by Tango. The last game it was exclusive to PS5 first.
Oh, you talking about the Ghostwire Tokyo?
Okay, yeah,
Mm,
okay.
okay.
Ghostwire Tokyo.
I think Jazz heard
Exclusive.
of that.
Yeah, exclusive to PS5. Did it sell on PS5 like crazy?
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Came to Xbox Game Pass. Now, I will admit, it was a good game to me. I liked the game. I beat the game. It was a fun game. I'm not going to take anything away from it. But I think I played it because it was in Game Pass.
Yeah,
I don't know.
he's
I
all into it.
really played it. So I like the game. There's nothing wrong with it.
It's like it was on your radar, but it wasn't.
Exactly.
You
But
want
it
to go
came
get it.
right, right. So my point is, everyone went and lit in on Microsoft about them getting rid of the company. But what did they make? And as Jazz said, and I can agree with Jazz to some bit, that game, everybody, a lot of people praise that game, not Ghostwire Tokyo, but Hi-Fi Rush. A lot of people praise that game. And I'm like, giving it a 10 out of 10. It was
Yeah,
okay.
a lot of
A
people
lot,
love that game.
right. It was okay. It was not my cup of tea, but it was okay. I didn't play. I played it, and it just got disinterested. Now that's me, but I'm sure, like Jazz said, others did as well. So tell me, how are you going to keep people like us engaged and for it to sell to everybody else? Does that make sense? So when people went out here and you got to treat things like a business. If something doesn't do well and you do two or three times and it didn't do well, how am I supposed to support that as a business? Not it can't base business off what you like. You have to base business off what sells. Is
Yeah,
that right or wrong?
they
So a lot of
the
people lit
customer
into them.
decides.
Right. So what if they didn't do as well as people thought? And I don't think it did. And that's why I'm like, okay, they did what they had to do, but everybody got mad at Microsoft. I didn't get mad. I mean, I wish they would have kept it open. But then a lot of people started saying, hey, well, guess what? Ghostwire Tokyo, they sold um, Tango Gameworks and they're making it too. And it's people like, well, they had some IP. I was listening to another podcast today and they said, well, they had an unnamed IP that they're probably working on that Microsoft doesn't own. I'm like, well, you guys don't understand corporate America at all. You don't, if you work for a company developing an IP, I don't care if they close the company, whatever you worked on at said time belongs to the company that closed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
if they sold it to them, that's true. But you can't say we're working on an unannounced project. Doesn't matter. You don't own anything when you work for a company. The company owns everything.
yeah,
So they sold the license of Hi-Fi Rush, and they're like, "Well, I wonder if it'll come to Xbox for the next X, Hi-Fi Rush 2." I'm like, "Well, I guarantee you it should come to Microsoft because I don't think Microsoft lawyers are stupid enough to say, wait a minute, any games you make will, if in order of us to sell it to you, we
I'm
will."
pretty sure that second one coming to Xbox.
Exactly. I mean, then
Mm-hmm. Game Pass.
so my point is, yes, I'm happy they sold it, but I don't think people are really don't blame Microsoft because you just can't keep all these studios open that are not producing. And that's the point. That's all I was trying to say is that I don't think people look at things from a bigger perspective than they really need to. They make their opinions based off what they like and what you like, as my parents always says. What you like and what's the truth ain't it's two different things. Just because you like something don't mean it's gonna happen the way you want it to happen. You guys agree?
yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So I'm happy the studio, like I said, I'm happy the studio sold. I hope they get a half hour rush two or whatever unannounced game. But apparently, if Microsoft said you got to go, you got to go. They didn't. If something wasn't there, and we don't know the whole story.
It never will.
True that. So those are all our topics today, people. So
Good discussion.
that yeah,
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
pretty good, pretty good, pretty
Pretty
good. So
good. It's good.
everyone Thank you guys for being here tonight. Let's get our outros together. And thank you guys as those who are still here with us, like and subscribe. But um, let's do our outros. Where can we find you, OG?
Find me here every Monday with the rest of the crew. And I guess you can find me on Facebook still and all things geeky, our group, and on Twitter, OG double M. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Jazamoto?
You can find me here with every rest of the crew. Also on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter/X, and YouTube.
All right.
And Twitch. I'm gonna be getting back at it. Been enjoying summer, taking a hiatus, but yeah, I'm gonna make up
Yeah,
for
get in and yeah, enjoy your summer. That's all we can do is enjoy our
Mm-hmm.
summers.
Because when it's winter, I'm gonna be on a whole lot more. But
You
yeah,
The
ain't never
games are
lied
starting to
about
come
that.
back.
yep. Do some more art streams, but I've been enjoying life, enjoying summer and chilling. But that's where you can find me.
Okay. Serge, what about you?
You can find me under the Sir Rich on Twitter on Sir_Rich. You can find me on Facebook on Sir Rich Gaming. You can find me on YouTube under Sir Rich, as well as Twitch. Even though I ain't been streaming for a little bit, I
I
need to
think
get back
everybody's
on.
been
But
enjoying their
yeah,
summers as much as
because
they
it's
can.
been nice and
Mm-hmm.
it's been fun. But shoot, I'm gonna be on that. The last thing we did was play the Call of Duty campaign when it came out. We did do that, so gonna get back on it. But yeah,
Okay.
as well as being here on Mondays.
Let's see. You can find me here with the rest of the crew on Monday. We'll be trying to stream this weekend. Uh, I will try, but it's the summer and it's getting harder. But
No promises.
no promises. I get home and I'm like, okay, let me do this, let me do that.
No
Yeah.
nephews, no nephews. They
Oh,
gone.
geez, no, they gone. Thank goodness. You ain't hear anything on the newspaper or the news this year. You ain't hear anything like that, did you?
Crazy.
Uncle
Oh,
hang his
please, you
nephews out
enjoyed
there.
them.
Oh, I had a
I know
good time.
you enjoyed
Yeah,
them.
I love my little nephews. I
Them
told you what
rambunctious,
about
they just ate everything.
Mm, yeah, I
kids are
love my little
amazing. I'm saying,
nephews too.
yeah, they are amazing. They just make you laugh. All you can do is laugh, especially when you can see them that one or two that don't get their way. So when one doesn't get their way, they throw a hissy fit, and I bust out laughing. One of my little nephews threw a hissy fit, and I looked at him, and I just bust out laughing because he looked at me. He didn't get his way. And he said, "I hate you," and I bust out.
Yeah.
And
You're
so
funny.
it was all over a video game that he couldn't beat his big brother. And I said, sometimes in life you lose, right? You gotta understand you will lose. I will refuse to let a person think that you're going to learn this lesson at the youngest age possible. So I
Yep.
said, okay.
Easier
So
did. The
Hey,
younger they are,
then
the better.
I told him, hold on. I told him to I
Mark
told
Jr. got a story
hey,
for you.
Let you
I,
win.
I told him to go upstairs and cool off. He came back down 5 minutes later, like nothing ever happened. He bust out laughing. I hugged him, and I just said, "You think you slick?" I said, "You cannot manipulate me. I do not work you." I'm like, "You
Oh.
cannot manipulate me. I am not the person that you think you can get away with by saying things to, and I'm gonna feel bad and let you have your way. Not happening."
You thought that was gonna work? Ah.
Mm-mm,
Nice
bust out my
try.
bread. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
funny.
but it was good. It was funny. I mean, if you was here, you guys heard this little character, you'd have bust out laughing. All y'all have been like laughing for days at this kid. It was good. But anyway, people, thank you guys for joining our crew again. Like and subscribe, and we will catch you guys on the next one. And we're going to let Surge, as he always does, take out. Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna say holla. Time for
Holla,
everybody to say
holla,
holla.
Holla,
Holla,
holla.
holla,
y'all.
everybody.
Let me holler at you. 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 Holla, 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 holla.